Color Computer 3, Palette Automation, the Basics, Lesson 15, Part E. I know in Part D I said I wouldn't do any more, but I already had the code done, and I think it'd be worthwhile to look at one more with a little bit more automation in it. Okay, we're going to be using a sprite. It's just an X. Okay, it's 5 bytes or 10 pixels wide, 8 deep. I built it the same way I did in previous ones. I used GIMP and COCO SE, captured MFCBs, and going to use that. So let's jump right here and try to get through this. Here, look at the code. Pretty much exactly the same as before. Nothing's changed to this. The only change we're getting here, I added a beginning screen address at 203A, which, if you remember, we bring this screen down to low memory to 2000. So this is on the top row, somewhere around the middle of the top row. And we're going to have a bump address here of C00, which we're going to add to that beginning address. We're going to bump down 24 lines. Okay, C00, that's developed by, for each line has 256 pixels, or 2 bytes, or 2 pixels per byte, or 128 bytes across. And so if we go down 24 lines, we'll take the 128 times our 24, and it gives us hex C00. So that's how we get down. We're going to go down 24 lines. So I'll explain this. We get down. The rest of this all is the same, all the way down through and including clear screen is exactly the same. All right, we'll load up that beginning screen address we just talked about up there. We'll load up the address of our sprite, and we'll brainstorm our display routine. The display routine we won't look at because it's the same we've been using for every part in this lesson. We'll display that. We'll come back and we'll use that screen address plus that bump address, which is that C00, or go down 24 pixels or 24 lines down. We'll load up the address of the same sprite and we'll display it again. We'll bump down another 24 and display it again, etc., all the way down here until the whole screen is completely filled with our sprite all the way from top to bottom. Go to our main loop, we'll get a character, we'll get one, we'll see if it's a Q. If it is, we'll go into job. If not, we'll see if it's an L. If it's L, we'll do a routine called do pals. Okay, well let's go down here. Let's take a look at a few things first. Here's our sprite. Okay, if you look at it, was that X I showed you before. Okay, and this kind of right here. Okay, our background color uses palette 0, and our visible part uses palette 1, or the red letters we showed. As you can see, kind of see the X in there. Okay, so there it is. It's 5 bytes or 10 pixels wide and 8 pixels deep. So what I did was I took and I copied that and I pasted it right here. And I changed all the 1s to 2s to use palette register 2. I copied it again, changed all the 1s to 3s, and used palette register 3. So now we're going to use palettes 1, 2, and 3. Have 3 X's in there. That's the 8, 8, and 8. That's our 24 pixels high. So we're 10 pixels across and 24 down. Let's go back up to our routine. Okay, well, we've got one more thing. We've got a loop counter. We're going to go through the loop 7 times. We're going to delay during that loop 7 FFF. Here's the action where the routine really starts. The do pals. We'll load up that loop count of 7. We'll load up U with the address of pals, which is down here. Let's stop here and look at the color before we get too far ahead. Here's something else we added. We added the colors. Color 1 is dark blue, or hex 08. Color 2 is orange, hex 34. Color 3 is dark red, $20. We've got this palettes here, or pals, using color 1, color 2, and color 3, blue, orange, and red. And next line is 2, 3, and 1. And the bottom line is 3, 1, and 2. All I did was take the first one, I copied it, shoved it over one byte and took color 1 and stuck it on the end. Down one more time, took color 2 up and shoved it on the end. So we're just going to be able to loop through there. Here's our main palette. Okay, it's using color 1, 2, and 3. So everything's in sync using the same colors, which makes it easier if you want to change. For instance, you want to change color 2 from orange to white. You change this 34 to 3F, recompile, and everything would show up as white. Well, you could change the wording if you want, but that's up to you. So that's what this routine is going to use, is this mechanism right here. So go back over again. We're going to load up U with the address of this pals, this down here, the color 1, 2, and 3. Branch to a routine called do it. Do it's going to load Y with palette register 1. Remember, we're not going to touch 0, 0 as our background register. We're only using 1, 2, and 3. So we'll load up the address of 1. We'll load up A, whatever's in U, which down here is our color 1. So it'll be really loading up with blue. Stored it in Y, which is palette register 1, and bumping that register. So now register 1 has the blue in it. We'll load A with, again, with the next one over, which we did U and bump by 1. So then we'll load up the next color, which is have the orange. Store it in palette register 2. Load up the next one, color 3, which is dark red. Store it in palette register 3, and return sub. Come back up here. We'll load X with the delay loop, which was at 7FFF. And we'll branch the routine called delay. Then we'll immediately go back to routine do it. Again, we'll load up Y with register 1, and we'll load A with what's over in U. Now remember, last time through here we did U, we bumped it by 1, U by 1, U, bumped it by 1. So we started here at this one, we bumped it by 1, bumped it by 1, and when we left here, we was pointing at this one here. So this time through that loop, we're going to start with color 2. And we'll put it in register 1, color 3 will go in register 2, and color 1 will go in register 3. And we'll go back up, we'll do delay, and we'll come to do it again, and we'll load up 1, and now U is pointing down here to this one, color 3, and we'll do 3, 1, 2, and that's it. We went through that routine. We'll decrement B, which had our loop counter 7. Now we'll go back up and just go through the loop again. We'll start with PAL, go through the whole loop again 7 times. When we're done, we'll go back to the main loop and wait till we go again or end the job. That's the code. That's all the changes. Kind of quick and dirty. So let's take a look now and see what we did. So I've already got in there, so we will hit execute. And there, we've loaded up our screen from top to bottom with the, remember, blue, orange, and red X's. Bump down 24 lines, put that same sprite in again, bump down 24, down 20, we got the screen completely filled from top to bottom. Now, when we hit the L, well, let's say we scroll through there. Looks like it's scrolled. Remember, we're not changing any addresses, we're not moving any code. All we're doing is changing them palette registers. Hit L again, and it looks like it's scrolling. And you can fine tune when it's a little bit smoother, but you can fine tune it. Let's work with it. Let's hit L, and it's just all it does is it's the appearance of scrolling. Now that was at the normal. That was at a slow speed. Sorry, that wasn't at the compile speed. That was at the slowest speed at FFF. I'm going to patch it here back to what. If you compiled it, I had already patched this test and change that back to the 7, and we'll hit it. And here's the way it is when it's compiled when I hit the L. Okay, it's a little bit faster, but that's when you compile it with this 7FFF. I'm going to patch it again to 0. So now it will be 0FFF. So this will be pretty fast. If I hit the L, you can't see anything. That's why we got the delay loop again. We'll put that there. There's nothing. It's just screaming through there. And once again, I'll go back to F, F, F. Make it as slow as we can make it. So I hit the L. You'll see it's much, much slower. Again, fine tune it, play with it, change that to whatever you want to make it more smooth, no, smoother, and change the colors as you wish and play with it. And that's all we're doing. We're finally going to be done with palette automation. I think I've already killed this one here. So anyway, we're done with palette automation. So thanks for watching, and we'll hopefully get something going soon.